Actually, let me make sure the OBS is good. I think it's good.
Let's hope so. Bless you.
I don't know. That was not to be blessed. That was like
I'm just making sure. It kind of sounded like something was up, so I feel
I was possessed by a demon for a brief moment.
I think that's like the whole point of saying bless you.
You think that's how it started?
It is how it started. People used to think that your heart would stop, or not think, like your heart stops when you sneeze for like a brief second. So they were like, oh my God, if your heart's not beating, the devil can get in there.
A ghost
Gotta make sure
is
I bless
inside
you.
your body. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a skeleton. Do you know there's a skeleton inside you too? Like all the time?
Dude, I think about this. Because it's
Isn't
like...
that scary?
It's like your skeleton is like the postal service of your body.
Yeah, kind of. It's
You
like a
know what I'm
street.
saying? Like, and they have addresses
Yeah.
and zip codes.
You know, your hands live at 1234 Blood Vessel Avenue.
Yeah. Is your penis, is that like the ghetto or is that the gated society?
No, that's the gated. I think it depends. It could be ghetto. But I think it's definitely the gated.
Some people have a
community of the
ghetto
body.
penis and some people have some people live in Cleveland Heights or Shaker
Hey, girl.
Heights.
I got that Shaker Heights ween. You know what I'm saying?
What person do you think has a ghetto penis?
I don't really know if I want to get into that.
Why not?
I don't think there's anyone that I could think of by name that I want to diss that I know that I think they have a ghetto penis.
I meant like celebrity or so, not someone you know. You don't have to,
like Kanye.
Okay, yeah.
I don't
He's
know.
definitely got a ghetto penis for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Southside Chicago, it gets you like that.
Do we want to? Does Tucker Carlson have a ghetto penis? I feel like he has.
his
the gated
his penis
community.
is definitely ghetto, I think.
Yeah, but like it has the vibe of a gated community.
He has
one,
like trailer park penis.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Like good old white trash. Like, yeah.
I don't know what it is with those guys, man. They just I don't
They have an
know
aura
how did he
to
get
them.
that job?
Tucker
Like
Carlson.
he just
I don't know.
applied.
I remember one time we were like looking up where he went to school, and I was like, he went into what?
Yeah, he went to like he went to a
And
school
I don't remember.
where they didn't have like classes. They did like it's like a cheese factory, but they hand out degrees also.
Was it like in Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think so. Or like Tucker Carlson, like his mom is part of like some big fucking like chicken conglomerate company. Like that they make chicken for grocery
like
stores.
Tyson.
Yeah, yeah.
He went to Trinity College.
I don't know what that is.
It's in fucking Connecticut. Of course, it's private. Liberal arts. He did not go here. It's got liberal in the name. Are you kidding me?
They would make there should be like a conservative arts kind of class.
Yeah, where they teach you like welding and like racism and stuff like that.
That and you have to listen to Tom McDonald.
Mm. Welding is kind of badass, though. I don't want to group that in as like a lame conservative art. Welding is cool.
Welding is very much a liberal thing, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like you work with like fire and like metal and you're like all hard and shit.
The metal is hard, but then it gets soft when it gets hot. Which
but
is
then
interesting.
you melt it down
and then
into
you
soft,
make it hard again.
Soft boy hands. And you mold it into things that communicate pleasure,
messages,
and peace.
Yeah.
Anti-Vietnam propaganda type beat.
Yeah. And like also swords. So there's like two sides of the welding spectrum.
Yeah.
I guess you don't really weld a sword.
Can you weld like are there like welded bracelets? Can you do that? Because that would seem.
You mean like if you had a bracelet
cool.
and like welded it like on your wrist?
I just meant like
I know
a bracelet. I guess that wouldn't work because you wouldn't be able to get it on or off.
Oh, I think that's the point. People do like sort of in the same vein as like a promise ring, like before you, or I guess you could also do it like with your friend or something. Like instead of getting like an engagement ring, if you're not like married or anything, you could get like forever jewelry, and then they weld it together so you can't just take it off.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like people put people put themselves in handcuffs willingly for marriage, is what you're saying.
No, but like not for like, you could do it with like your best friend or like maybe your partner if you're like not.
No, that's not the part I'm
anything,
confused about. I'm confused about the it's stuck to you forever part, for real.
Well, it's not stuck to you. It's just like on your wrist. It's like a bracelet.
But how do you get it off? Because it's like metal.
You can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What do you?
Yeah, that's like the point. Well, but it's not like a fucking handcuff. It's like a little like a band.
But it's on you forever?
Forever. Yep.
That's crazy. You don't think that's crazy a little bit?
I mean, you could just get it like cut off with like a pair of pliers.
Oh, really? Like it's not like,
yeah.
I guess I'm imagining welding as like it's this kind of thick band. Like you can't do anything about it. You need like you have to call the fire department and get their diamond saw.
Yeah, and then they have to like
yeah. It's so loud, dude.
Yeah, sorry, no. So not like that.
Okay.
Like it's like permanent jewelry, but like, it's like marriage. It's not real. You can always get a divorce.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
My coworker was saying that yesterday. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What?
He was like, yeah, people are getting married so early still. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And he was like, yeah, but you can always get divorced if you mess up. And I'm like, yeah,
You don't really want to mess up, though.
You don't really want to get divorced.
It's not like losing a game of Rocket League where you're like, oh, let's just go again.
We'll just run it back. Yeah.
It's not like that.
No.
Normally when you mess up marriage, it's like you wasted a decade.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And you're like, holy shit, my back has a parasite in it now. And I can't eat carrots anymore.
Yeah, and my wife got the house, so now I have to find somewhere else to live. Got to move back in with my parents. It's going to be a whole thing.
You got to move into the wasteland. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome to the wasteland.
Are slowly devolving into something.
Madness, maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we're just always devolving is kind of the trend.
I am devolving.
What are you devolving? And how fast?
Quickly. Life is so stressful sometimes,
I do know.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
So
we should be shot in the head. This show sucks ass.
I think it's fine.
I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm sitting in the dark for this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You hopped on the call and then you were like in the dark and I was like, okay, yeah, that's an interesting
choice.
Didn't
say anything.
What?
It's kind of weird. It's like you don't care about me or whatever.
I do. I just figured that maybe if you wanted, maybe you're trying to save on your electricity bill, considering that you need to save it all to be air conditioned because it's hot as dick and balls right now.
Would you do heroin with me?
Sure.
All right. Well, I had a whole.
What did you expect me to say?
I expected you to say no. I had a whole bit
I'll say no.
If you said no.
Hypothetically, we'll go back. No, I would never do heroin with you. That's fucking crazy. No, I want to see what you were going to say.
We can't go back on the bit.
We can. Let's do it right now.
We can't.
Yes. Jackson, I would never do heroin with you.
Henry, we don't have the budget to edit this out. We've run out of budget this month for the editing team.
Oh, okay. All right.
You'll
have to let Jamie know that he's going to have to,
Yeah, I think he was talking about he has a new gig, I think.
Okay, that's good.
Which is, he said it was like, something in Texas or something.
That's weird. Why
working for someone named Joan? I don't know. At first I thought he said he Joan of Arc, but that's a Bible thing, I think.
Oh, yeah, the guy with like the boat.
No, that's a different guy. That's Noah.
Joan of Arc, Noah's Ark. I think it's the same thing.
No, it's different somehow.
I love all of the depictions of Noah's Ark and how every animal going into the Ark is like supposedly they're like, oh yeah, look, we have two of each animal so they can mate. And every time it's drawn ever, it's 2 male lions, always, no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's so gas.
I had when I was very younger, I had like a kid's Bible where like all the well-known stories of the Bible were drawn like they were an episode of Curious George. And on the ark, I think it was 2 lions, 2 flamingos, and like a parrot or something.
Just one though.
Yes, actually,
because parrots produce like they reproduce like by budding. You know, like the parrots like bud off of each other, like little fungi.
like fungi, yeah.
They're so cool.
Or like the zombies in The Last of Us, because they're fungi zombies.
That is true. I've actually never played The Last of Us.
I know. I wasn't. I don't know why I wasn't. I knew that, and I expected you to get it. I don't know why.
I mean, I know that it's like a virus, and that's why the zombies. I haven't played. I know the story of The Last of Us 1. I don't know what happens in the second game. Because The Last of Us 1 has been remastered like fucking 80 million times.
Like 2. Which it's weird that it was more than 1. I'll give you that.
It was weird that they remastered it at all, and then they just made a sequel.
I mean,
like,
that's
why didn't you just
true also
cut to the chase? Normally you make a sequel and then you like remaster an old game like 10 years later.
Yeah, or you move on and you make a brand new game like Dark Souls 4 or something.
Yeah, you would think that they would maybe get there eventually. Did you see the Direct from this past week?
What Direct?
The Nintendo Direct.
I got that. There was a Direct?
Yeah, this past week.
I didn't even hear about it.
Well, I was going to complain about it because they fucking, speaking of remasters.
All right, well, that's a bingo card right there.
What?
You complaining about Nintendo. Or I guess just us on this show in general.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for anybody playing the bingo at home.
Yeah.
Scratch that up. I can't do a marker sound.
That's okay. No, that was pretty good.
It's like...
I've heard worse.
No, that's like a rip. It's like a...
It's got a little bit more like a to it, you know?
What the fuck was... That was an old door
like a whiteboard
creaking.
marker. You know? Like a... I like the whiteboard.
No, but I'm going for like Sharpie on paper.
Oh, okay.
Or highlighter, I guess.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, what happened or something?
So one of my favorite games of all time, Donkey Kong Country Returns, originally released on the Wii in like fucking 2008 or whatever, is now coming to the Switch. And that's it. They didn't do anything with it. They're just putting it on the Switch.
Okay.
And so I'm mad about it. Because it's the third time that they've released the game. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking pay $60 for this again. Just make a Donkey Kong game. Like, make a new one.
No one's forcing you to pay for a game you already own.
I know, but I'm just sad that they're putting it on the Switch instead of making a new one. There's already another old Donkey Kong game on the Switch, and it's Tropical Freeze.
All right.
Like, I was hoping that they were going to make another one.
Grow up. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not that disappointed, obviously. I forgot that there was a Direct until I saw all the trailers, like, in my YouTube, and they were like, new Legend of Zelda, something, 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 something. I was like, oh, that's cool. They made a new 2D Zelda game.
At this point in my life, I can't expunge any energy being angry at 80-year-old Japanese men I'll never meet.
Yeah.
I'm just at that point in my life. I can't do it.
I'm not like mad about it. It's just like I think I'll always have that childlike sense of, you know, oh, cool, like a new game. Maybe it'll be good, and maybe I'll pick it up if I have free time, which I don't. But, you know, maybe I'll get there.
What do you want me to say? I don't fucking know.
I guess nothing.
We've done this exact same segment on the show like 80 times at this point.
But yeah, I feel like normally we talk about a Direct though, like after it happens.
I didn't know it existed, man.
Yeah, I don't... Okay.
Did anything happen? Is there a new Smash DLC?
Metroid Prime 4 is finally coming out.
Whatever,
after 8 years.
dude. Fucking care. I haven't finished playing the rest of the trilogy.
I don't know, man. A lot of people are really excited
and
about
no one else has either. Everyone on like fucking Nintendo.coolgames.boards.com is like, oh, fucking the Metroid Prime series is so underrated. I'm so glad that, you know, Metroid Prime... It's like, shut the fuck up, man. No one actually plays these games because they're ass. Can we just be real with ourselves?
I just feel like after I saw it, I was like, oh, damn, I've seen this game like 8 other times, and it's called Halo.
But Metroid Prime is made by an old Japanese man, so it's better.
I mean, I guess so.
Instead of an American.
I don't think that things being old makes them good.
The people who made Halo also tortured detainees at Guantanamo.
What?
Probably. I'm just saying.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't.
They could have.
I would believe it too. I feel like we talk about this all the time. How fucking famous people are just pieces of shit.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what do we talk about all the time?
No, I just feel obviously
Torturing
like
people. We should torture more people.
You know, we should torture more people. We should bring that shit back. I want to like, you know, the medieval like stretch rack where they would just like stretch out your body, like, and they would pull your arms up from like your legs. I need to be put on one of those and just like stretched out, but like not all the way to the point where it kills me.
As like a spa kind of exercise.
Yeah,
yeah,
not like torture-esque. Just like my spine is like a little tight, you know. So I just want them to pull it.
You know what I want to do? I want to go to one of those spas where they put like the like hot cup on your back, and then it makes a big red ball, and you look like a spider giving birth. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I don't know why that's like a thing that people decided is something that we're gonna do. I see.
Would you do that
like
with me on heroin?
I would do it with you without being on heroin.
But would you do
like
it
I would
on
try
heroin?
I'd probably be more likely.
That
to
actually
do it on
probably
heroin,
kills you though.
Cupping on heroin?
Yeah.
I guess probably my brain would just be like,
feels like one of those things where you know, you unplug a USB as the same time as you like launch Adobe Photoshop, and your computer just explodes.
Just catches on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be. I think you would just be so overstimulated from the fact that you're like high. You'd be like, oh, there is a spider crawling out of my body right now, and it's just going to burst through my back and I'm going to die. So I'll just cut the chase, and then your heart just gives up.
I don't know if high is even a word that can describe whatever heroin feels like. I'm not saying I know what it feels like. I'm just saying like
That was going to be my follow-up question. I'm glad that you cleared that up.
From the one scene in Breaking Bad where Aaron Paul and the other girl are on heroin, I don't think high is too tame of a word to explain whatever that is.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of lay there and like you float into space and you see Carl Sagan.
Yeah, well, and Aaron Paul was like, oh yeah, we had to do method acting, so we were like actually on heroin in that scene.
Was he?
I mean, no.
Okay.
But you never know. I don't know. I haven't actually watched that much of Breaking Bad.
Well, they said like the meth in the show was just like fucking rock candy or whatever.
I know. Well, he was trying to like get people on set to like eat it because he was like, "Oh, dude, this shit's so good." It's just rock candy.
Yeah, rock candy. I the last time I had rock candy was at Kalahari,
dude.
Which for those
that's a throwback
for
right
people
there.
who aren't from northeastern Ohio.
Kalahari is like a giant water park.
Yeah, it's an specifically indoor water park.
Is Great Wolf Lodge like a United States thing? Like, do they have more than one of those?
I think it's more than there's more than one Kalahari, but there's definitely more Grey Wolf Lodges than that. Might be like a tri-state area kind of thing.
Okay, well, if you know Great Wolf Lodge, Kalahari is just like that, but it's like slightly smaller.
Yeah, I've never been to a Great Wolf Lodge, but Kalahari I can almost assuredly say is worse in every way.
I would say that they're literally like the exact same thing.
Okay. I don't know. In my mind, Kalahari is just like, you know, kind of like old people locker room.
Yeah,
but
it is like
everywhere.
Very like public gym locker room-esque. So the only people walking around like totally in the nude are like old.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like, oh, I'm a parent, got to make sure my kids don't see that shit. But then they're like running around anyway, and everyone is just like having a fun little chaotic time.
Yeah.
I'd remember that being really, really fun when I was a kid, though.
I feel like that's where they hide like nuclear codes now.
Yeah, there's definitely like a basement level of the Great Wolf Lodge that's just like a government research lab.
Dude, in 40 years, when Kalahari goes extinct, which is not the right word, but when they go extinct, all of them.
Yeah, no, that's the right word.
And you can go urbex them. And they're all like decrepit, and there's like vines growing down all of like the water slides and shit.
The best kind of environment ever.
We got to go check that shit out, bro.
There's literally nothing that I want to do more than that.
And you have to
like,
wear,
unironically,
you have to wear steel-toed boots because there's like nails and screws everywhere and shit. And there's asbestos leaking from the ceiling.
I need to get a pair of steel-toed boots. Everyone I know who I think is really cool
and a gas mask.
Boots. Yes.
People who own gas masks are also really cool.
I think people who just do urbex like are cool.
Yeah, you think trespassing is admissible?
Yes, I do.
Which is so based of you. Trespassing is like some fake made up crime.
It is. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. If it's like your property and you're like actively living in your house and there's like random people in your backyard, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
People cut through our yard all the time. And I'm like, who are you and why are you at my house?
Yeah.
But like, if you're like walking around an abandoned warehouse that nobody owns and there's not a buyer for, I think that's badass. Where else are supervillains supposed to make their layers at?
Or if it's just like owned by some kind of like real estate company, and they have one of those signs. It's like, call 128 now soon to get this property for $8,
Yeah, for like $800, we'll give you 5,000 acres of land.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal, actually.
Central Ohio.
Okay, so it's not really a good deal anymore. No one's going to come see your land. You can't grow anything there.
Well, it's next to East Palestine. Obviously, like, all the shit's been contaminated, dude.
Well, if you grow a plant, it'll probably just turn into like a totally different plant due to all the radiation in about 4 years.
Yeah, that's how the those like ghost spirit Pikmin, they started growing there.
the glow Pikmin?
Yeah, and you have to fucking like, there's some like slime shit or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I played the game.
Yeah. They live in like funny little weird like termite mounds that glow.
Well, because they're glow Pikmin.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Right. It makes sense. Well, all the other ones come out of the ground, but the glow Pikmin, they live in glow sap dens.
Well, the other ones come out of an onion that can go into space when it wants.
But the glow Pikmin have to live on the earth because they're lame and cringe.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up that they
like
segregate them from the rest of the Pikmin.
There's like a mother glow Pikmin.
Maybe.
And they're
just like ants.
And you can only find them at the very top of the Kalahari. Like at the tippy top, it's like that platform where all 8 of the water slides meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember I used to get so nervous going up there, dude. I was like, the water slide is so big and scary, and I'm going to throw up.
Some people say there's still a lifeguard on duty there. He just hasn't come down yet.
I think there is.
Yeah.
There's a guy there, maybe not right now because it's like late at night, but that's still his job and it will be till the day he dies.
Well, that shit should be 24 hours, like a 7-Eleven.
Could you imagine how sick it would be to go to a
Kalahari at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And
such a hard YouTube video.
Past 10, they allow beer.
And fucking Freddy Fazbear would be there in the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, dude. Like,
especially if it's like abandoned and old and we're exploring it urbex style, like 40 years from now.
Cracking some cold ones with our boy Luigi. And he's got the vacuum on his backpack or whatever.
Oh yeah, the poltergeist.
Yeah. And we're trying to go through like a boarded window. He just sucks that shit up.
Thanks, Luigi. That's why he's kind of, the goat. One might say the ghost.
Yeah. But then we see a ghost and he's like, wah, or something like that. Yeah. I can't, sorry, I'm not Italian.
Mario, what am I going to do?
But anyway, that was
that's what would happen.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
One day when the Kalaharis are extinct.
Right. Luigi's Mansion 4 takes place in Kalahari. And it's actually just like an exploration game and it's urbex style.
Oh, it's more of a Resident Evil kind of vibe, isn't it?
It's actually the second Strand type game of all time.
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 it's placed in a Kalahari.
Yeah.
And the US
Luigi
president is also there.
Which one though?
It's just like a made up woman in Death Stranding. It's like the protagonist's mom is the president.
When I was in Japan, there's like a manga series that's just called The President of the United States. And it's this like really aggressively like Asian drawn man in front of the White House.
Is it Trump?
No.
Okay.
Thank God. No. I picked it up and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I took a picture because I just thought it was funny. I was like, who is this guy?
Okay.
I was like, I can assure you that the person on the cover of this book has never been the president of the United States.
Yeah. Well, we've never had an Asian president.
Yeah.
We haven't had Andrew Yang hasn't gotten in there yet.
God, I miss him.
He's still around. I'm sure he's got a TikTok page you can follow.
That's probably true.
If you're tired of Joe Biden's TikTok page, of course.
I don't think I will ever want to willingly go to any politician's TikTok page or social media of any kind.
I don't think, maybe this is a bit of a hot take, but Joe Biden is probably like top 2 funniest presidents all time.
I think it's way funnier because he doesn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, it's kind of like Trump, right? But Trump is in this weird lane where he tries to be funny and is, but not in the way he wants even remotely. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then
he
Joe Biden
succeeds, but not in what he was going for.
Joe Biden is kind of a Bidoof fellow, I guess.
Right, yeah. Where it's like, who the fuck is this weird little guy? And then he's just adored by all the fans.
Yeah. He is just a weird little guy.
Yeah.
And he just fucking loves vanilla ice cream.
No, Jackson, he likes chocolate chip.
No, he likes vanilla, dude. He's always every clip he's eating vanilla ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like the famous Joe Biden ice cream clip is him being like, "Oh, chocolate chip."
I mean, that's
folks.
There's that too, for sure.
Yeah, I feel bad. I just want him to retire. He deserves not because I am like, oh my God, we should have a different president, but like he deserves to like, you know, not live out the last of his years in agony.
He deserves to have like some kind of like lake condo.
Yeah.
Where there's like a stove that only works like 80% of the time.
Yeah, but it's outside, so it's like nice.
Yeah, you can hear the cicadas in the summer.
Nope. I take it all back.
Well, that's his problem.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You know? He doesn't deserve the harsh realities of having to think about Iraq or whatever.
I mean, he's the president. Like he should for now, but I think he's too old.
I'm just saying he doesn't have the bones to deal with geopolitics or any politics, really.
His skeleton is tired.
I mean, yeah, he was at East Palestine, dude. That's where he went to college or something.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. I don't think anything's been going on in East Palestine other than like new animals being spotted with like multiple heads.
So it kind of sounds like a lot of people or a lot of things are going on in East Palestine.
Yeah, but it's nothing new. It's just like Chernobyl, but smaller.
It's like Chernobyl, but kids meal sized.
Yeah. They made a little mini one.
Can you imagine you go to McDonald's and it's like it's like McDonald's for terrible diseases.
Yeah, hi, can I get the AIDS, please?
Well, the AIDS is like that's like a combo. That's like AIDS is getting like 3 Big Macs, a 20-piece nugget, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, I guess you got to get the HIV first too. Like the AIDS is a meal.
Yeah. The HIV is part of the AIDS.
That's like an HIV is like a little kid's meal.
A kid's
But then
meal,
if you get the combo,
a kid's meal is like the common cold, I think.
Yeah.
And you can, if you want to drink on the side, that's like
a whooping cough.
Rubella or some other thing like curable with a vaccine.
Yeah. It's fucked up that they make the common cold different every year.
Yeah, not so common, is it, huh? if it's fucking different all the time.
Well, I feel like I always get sick.
I'm just waiting for the legendary gold.
I know it'll kill me for sure. I will not live.
The golden scar virus.
Oh yeah, no thanks.
Oh man.
If you survive, you get like a giant like gash across your eye that's gold, and it just says like Fortnite on it.
Yeah.
You survive with the golden scar,
and you get a crown that you can take into the next drop,
the next life.
Next life.
They confirm reincarnation is real, and you realize that you get a victory crown now that you've died.
Yeah. There's that theory that's like if you die, or when you die, it's like your every life to ever exist. So you get plopped down into another body, but it's all the same universe and timeline.
You're just like a different,
and you're a different person each time you die. In that,
so
that
like when
same
you
timeline.
die, you could just like you could come back to life same time that you and I were born, and you could be me instead of being you.
Yeah. Or I could have been born some famous figure from the past.
Yeah, you could have been MLK.
I think that shit is so dumb. Whoever came up with that is like, that's wishful thinking, right?
It is wishful. I mean, I don't think it's the stupidest thing ever. It's just
it's pretty fucking dumb, I think.
I don't know if it's dumb. It's just implausible. I feel like it's not. You never know, though. Maybe that's true. But I don't.
Is implausible not dumb?
I think implausible means unlikely, but it doesn't necessarily mean. Like, I feel like it's just half the time that we come up with stupid ass ideas, they're just things that we could see as being true, but we don't have the knowledge to prove that they're right or wrong. So like based on the information that you and I know, we're both like, yeah, duh, that's not what happens. But I don't know, like 50 years ago, people could like maybe in a context it made sense. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, 50 years ago, rap started. So really,
So that's when shit got real.
I mean, at that point in time, like that was the first kind of that's the third testament.
Yeah.
Of the Bible. Of my Bible.
Of the New Testament.
But I don't know.
How many chapters are there in the Bible? Isn't it just the Old Testament?
Chapters?
How many arcs are there in the Bible?
Well, there's like 60 books or some shit. And each book,
crap.
Some of the books got like 3 chapters. Some of them got like 85. So Bible's a long ass book, man. That is
Jay Christ was kind of cooking with that one.
You can't just read that shit on one flight. Like, it takes a bit.
No.
You got to sit down and say, I really want to learn about David and Goliath.
And how David killed Goliath with a rock.
But in between all of the David and Goliaths, there's, some exposition about like how Jesus witnessed like an orgy. He witnesses like a lot of orgies, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right, yeah. And he's like, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's make that shit wrong and illegal.
You know what's crazy is he also just, Jesus he just shows up places all the time. And people are like, whoa. But like they didn't have like celebrities back then. So like, how did they know who he was?
Yeah, wait a minute. You're right.
Right? Like
they didn't have like the internet.
Like, okay, flashback, or you close your eyes and imagine you're a Roman person. I don't know. You're a guy who lives in Rome in 23 BC.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And
I'm 35 right now. I'll be lucky if I make it to 37.
The only thing that we could even compare to being a celebrity in that time is like Julius Caesar,
the emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only guy or that everyone knows, rather.
Yeah. But then Jesus shows up and everyone's like, "Oh my god, dude,
Jesus.
No way.
Yo, what's up, bro? I loved you in John Wick 3. You did a great job, man."
Right.
Like,
they didn't have...
He just shows up places, he's like, guys, you're never going to believe this. Like, he goes through the same spiel every time.
You go to the supermarket and you see him and you're like, guys, holy shit, you'll never believe who I saw there.
Yeah.
He was just handing out wine. He was just turning water into wine. Straight from the aqueduct. Can you believe that? Ruined our water supply.
There was this guy, I was walking home from the bakery. I had a loaf of bread and a fish. And I said, I was walking. I was just talking to myself out loud, just because I don't know. I was just so hopeless, and I was like, this just isn't going to be enough to feed my family, but it's all I can afford. And then Jesus,
Right.
he came around from around this corner. He was like in an alleyway. It was a little weird. I was a little creeped out at first. But he said, I'll solve your problem. And then he duplicated my fish and loaves into hundreds. And I was able to feed everyone in the town.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And then you're at Christmas dinner with your uncle, and they're like, shut the fuck up, Denise. That didn't happen.
They're like, that didn't happen.
Jesus? I've never heard of this fucking guy.
Yeah, who is
John
it?
Wick 3? What are you talking about?
Hey, to be fair, though, if someone took my fish and then duplicated it into 100 fish, I would definitely remember who they were.
Yeah, his name was Jesus Clancy
Christmas.
Christ. Or
I thought his middle initial was H.
Jesus Hussein Christ, sorry.
Right. Jesus H. Christ.
Just like Obama.
Yep. That not American guy or whatever.
He is from Hawaii.
I think that still counts. I think that's fine.
No, but Hawaii, it's not like a mainland, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like what territory do we own that keeps getting potentially like turned into a state? Is it Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico?
Yeah. I think I see that pop up in the news like every 5 years. They're like, Puerto Rico is going to be the 51st state in America. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's fucking not.
I think
It's
every
not gonna happen.
time, it's like every 5 years or so, they're like, what if we became a state? And then they have a vote on it. And like
And everyone's like, nah.
the main campaign against it is like, if we become a state, we have to pay federal taxes. And everyone's like,
I don't
oh,
blame them.
fuck.
Everyone's like, oh, shit, you're right. I forgot about that.
It's
since
like,
5 years
I
ago.
do really want health care, but like, I don't know.
Do I want it that? Do I want it that bad?
Yeah.
And I get that.
If we become a state, they're allowed to put a Kalahari here. I don't know if I really...
They're going to install 2 Great Wolf Lodges, and then we're going to be fucked. Then 50 years from now, some random dude with steel-toed boots is going to be running around our state.
Yeah, dude, you don't want that.
Yeah, and they're going to have to get like a lame flag and sing the national anthem.
Shadow Mario is going to show up. He's going to put the graffiti everywhere and shit.
I got to play that game.
With a paintbrush, with a magic paintbrush.
Uh-huh. It's just going to be like dark and black and make fucking orange paint somehow.
Somehow. It's magic. It's kind of in the name.
Yeah, it is magic.
So you just...
It's like Rivers Cuomo. He's got the magic in him.
What?
Yeah, the song Magic. I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that floor, it turns into gold. Yeah, it turns to gold.
I'm more of a the world has turned and left me here. I'm kind of that.
Yeah.
That's kind of more
fair.
my flow, if you will. I'm not a big Weezer fan, man.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I don't really like love their music. I remember I was shocked the day that I figured out that Magic, like featuring Rivers Cuomo, was like Rivers Cuomo from Weezer.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I just didn't know that it like the lead singer's name was Rivers Cuomo. So I was like, oh yeah,
It is
this
a
guy's
funny
cool,
name.
whatever. And I looked it up and I was like, that's kind of a sick name.
Rivers Cuomo is a really funny guy because like he is. I mean, all of the memes about Weezer are like, oh, they're fucking like awkward nerds that like just they're a popular rock band, and it's true.
Yeah.
They are like awkward nerds. Like Rivers Cuomo like writes poetry about like cell phones destroying America and stuff.
Okay, so he just like is spitting facts, or what?
I mean, kind of, but like in a very theater kid way. You know what I mean?
That is tough. Yeah, I always wondered because like my dad introduced me to Weezer, and I was like, dude, you like Led Zeppelin? Why are you listening to Weezer?
Weezer, on all accounts, should not have like succeeded as a band. Like they shouldn't be popular.
I think it's just like maybe that's why they succeeded.
What?
Everyone was just like, man, these guys are weird. Anyway, they're kind of chill. They passed the vibe check.
Yeah, I passed the bowl to him, and he figured it out somehow. I didn't have any faith. I thought I was gonna have to show him how to do it, but
yeah, and he
the
was
Blue
like,
album is Weezer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but I mean,
Weezer's
that's like
whole
their
thing
most.
that's their motif. Like they have the Black album and the Green album and the Red album and the White album.
Yeah.
And the one where like the logo is made out of lightning. And it's like, we're super, It's
welcome to the Weezer fucking Power Hour.
This is
right
classic rock and it's like those radio stubs where they're like boom, 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 boom.
Rock and roll. This is 95.7.
And there's like the motorcycle.
Yeah, that's it. And then there's like an eagle screech.
Yeah. And then it's the world has turned
and left me here.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I don't know what's going on with them, but
I think musicians just need to like figure out a point in their life where they need to like move on and do something else.
Yeah, Trent Reznor shouldn't still be acting like this. I feel like, right?
Like I don't mean in like a, you know, I guess you can live your life however you want to, but I feel like once you pass your prime, like, you know.
Well,
like I keep hearing a bunch of rumors about like NSYNC getting back together, and I'm like, I kind of don't. Like, I guess I want them to, but like, I feel like their music is just not. That. Yeah, like we already had it and we enjoyed it, and I feel like bringing it back is just going to ruin it.
The true goats know when to stop, right?
Right.
Like Michael Jordan, you know, he got his shit in, and he was like, you know what? Now I'm just going to make shoes.
He was like,
and stuff.
Right, and they're sick as fuck.
Yeah.
He moved on to something else, and now he's a bajillionaire forever.
And now people are like, you know, Michael Jordan is like the basketball guy.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a LeBron guy for whatever reason.
Yeah, we're from Cleveland and we're not LeBron guys. So if you're a LeBron guy, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. LeBron, I mean, there's an argument to be made for sure.
Oh, he's an amazing basketball
player. LeBron, I think more so. And take my words as not authoritative on the subject at all because I know nothing about basketball. But with that being said...
This is me whenever I say anything.
From my understanding of basketball, I believe that Michael Jordan, he's kind of like the Mario. Like he's an all-arounder. Like he's great at a lot of things, but he's not the best at any one thing particularly. He's just a great team player, all-around good guy. But then LeBron, he kind of like solo carried like 3 different teams.
He did.
Which is hard to do.
I think he was the highest scoring player at one point.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if he still is.
Yes.
But he definitely was at some point.
I mean, he's up
career.
there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Again. And LeBron is like a good dude. I feel like he does pretty good work with his money too, and he donates a lot of stuff like back to Akron and sort of like, you know, like he pays homage to where he grew up and, you know, how he got to where he is now.
Do you remember there's like I don't know if it's still going on, and I don't remember what it's called, but there was like a Shark Tank, not like show, but like adjacent show where I think it was on NBC where he came back to Cleveland and he was like pitched businesses by local Ohio people and he invested in the Ohio businesses.
That's actually kind of sick.
And he like, you know, I don't know what actual work he did himself, but like, you
probably not much.
He was on the show and he was like, yeah, that sounds like a good business. I can't do a LeBron voice. He's like, that sounds like a good business idea. I'm going to give you $100,000 for you to make a pizza place or whatever.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I mean, the show was like super cringe because LeBron is super cringe, but you know.
Yeah, I saw a fucking Shark Tank clip the other day about this guy trying to make a product for farmers. And he was trying to like sell it at a lower price because he was like, yeah, I know that most farmers like, you know, I just want to make the world a better place. And I'm not trying, like, I want to make money because I'm a business.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, I'm not trying to like drive my profits all the way up because at the end of the day, my goal is to like make this product for people and like get it into their hands.
And Kevin O'Leary was like, boo, why are you on the fucking show, dude?
He was trying to sell it for like $7 or some shit. And Kevin O'Leary was like, okay, well, if I'm going to sign this deal with you, you need to be making money. I need to be making money. You need to sell these for like $12 minimum.
You don't understand. I have a wine company and that isn't enough for me.
Right. I'm worth $50 million on a bad day. And I think
that's
you should
a really
die.
bad day for him because he's usually worth $1 billion.
Is he really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He is a billionaire.
Really?
Yes. 100%. You don't have to look it up. You're wasting your time.
I believe you. It's just like crazy to me. But yeah, He's fucking, and so I don't even know like what shark it was because it was a guy who's just like starring on the show like for a season.
Oh,
or
he's
whatever,
just like I hate they bring on like just some random fucking guy. Like that one time they had the guy who made the GoPro. It's like kill yourself. You don't deserve to be here, piece of shit.
You had one successful business that was a one-off.
If you got bought by Amazon, you don't deserve to be on Shark Tank. That's not a business move. You just got hella lucky.
Yeah,
this is
true.
stupid.
Hey, Shark Tank feels real bad about not investing in Ring, and we all know about that.
Oh, shut the fuck. Whatever. Who cares, dude? Yeah, I feel real bad about not investing in Bitcoin in 2010, too.
I know.
When that shit was $1.
Right. When we were, like 7.
Yeah.
We really fucked up with that one. What were we doing?
Oh, my God. If only I had access to,
the internet at all. If only I know what Internet Explorer was.
But like the correct channels, I wish I was involved in communities that knew what Bitcoin was.
I didn't have a Wii until I was 9. I didn't fucking know that there were other people in the earth, like on the earth, other than my family until I was like 10.
Did you see that video of the guy where it was like the day after the Trump mugshot came out, where he was like, holy shit, my Wii is still hooked up to the news, which means I'll see the picture on the Wii news channel.
Was it there?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Can you imagine? Our Switch should have a news app of some kind curated by Nintendo.
Yeah. I feel like
we need that back.
Honestly, I know that
was
obviously
that in the
it's just nostalgia. No, it wasn't. Can you believe that shit?
Man.
Fuck. But like I know it's just nostalgia, but like the Wii, dude, the Wii was fucking where it was at.
The
Media
Wii is so
and like
sick, dude.
access to games and stuff was peak between 2000 and 2010.
Yeah, I loved having to put in credit card information by pointing at the screen, and you have like arthritis, and you can't select the right number.
So maybe that's not really what I meant, but like it just feels it wasn't. Now everything is just like so in our face, and we have access to like so much. I feel like we needed to be slightly more limited than it is now.
Yeah,
that's why we'll have brain rot.
I was
hanging out with Tina today, and she was like scrolling through like Instagram reels on her phone, and she just showed me this video, and it was just like as trying to be ironic, but it was just like a fucking video of Squidward and Patrick from SpongeBob, like being Skibbity Toilet, and it just said, "Send this to your friends to give them brain rot," and I was like, "Oh, dude, we failed. You know what? We deserve to fall into the sun." We deserve the inevitable heat death of the universe.
Man, we had a Gmod. Like, it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? We were doing the same shit, bro. We had like it was like a 3D model of Sonic in Gmod, and he was like, shitting on Mario or something. Like, we were doing the same shit, that's true. Bro.
But like, I didn't do that when I was a kid.
Well, no, you didn't. An adult made that for you.
Yeah, that's true. So that's even worse. Yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right.
It's the same thing, dude.
I guess we all do have those types of things.
You know what's so funny is I was this is so very random, but we were talking about on the last podcast Anthony Fantano.
Yeah.
And I was rewatching his review for JPEG Mafia's recent album, and on that video, the creator of Skibbity Toilet has a comment.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's fucking awesome.
At any point where I'm going to be able to bring this up ever again, so I have to mention it.
No,
right
I'm glad
now.
It's relevant right now. You got to put it in.
But the comment, I don't know, maybe you would expect the comment to be like skibbity boom or something like that, but no, it was like,
does he just give something like really insightful about
it was him actually
album?
Engaging with the review and talking about like the music or something.
That's fucking crazy.
But anyway, no, I mean, people are always like, "Oh, the next generation is fucked." But to be honest, like,
no, I'm not. I no longer believe that.
I know you're not saying that. I'm just saying, the people listening to it, the girl reading this is probably thinking that, and I need to. I can fix her.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know. I feel like it's just people like being kids, and it gets construed as like, oh my god, this generation like fucking sucks, and they're all lazy and
yeah, man,
blah 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 blah. When it's like, I don't know, man. Like when our parents were kids, my mom was talking to me about that the other day. She was like, I don't know how my mom made it where like, I would call her like once a day at like 9 p.m. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not dead. And we'd speak for like 30 seconds because I had like 25 cents before my payphone call went out. If I couldn't call you guys every night, I think I'd like have an anxiety attack. And I was like, yeah,
I'm going to go to bed.
The self-awareness right now is like wild.
Yeah.
It's just like, growing up in a different world. It's weird.
Maybe your mom should have watched Skibbity Toilet, man.
Maybe she should. Maybe I should show it to her.
There's a lot of, you could get like 10 million YouTube views off of that.
I think if I showed my mom Skibbity Toilet, she would tell me that I had failed.
We could do the next React channel. Do you remember React? Or what was that channel called? Where it was like the Fine Brothers or whatever.
Yeah, the Fine Bros.
What was the name of the channel? Was it just React? I don't remember.
It was like React World.
They had like 10 channels too, where one of them was like React Gaming, and they were doing like that kind of thing. But it was literally just for the unaware. It was just a channel full of YouTube videos where it's like, today we have 75-year-olds reacting to Justin Bieber and shit like that.
Oh, it's literally just called React now.
Yeah. But we could do that with our parents. And it could be like, we could showing Skibbity Toilet to Gen X.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to be responsible for putting that out into the world.
Why not?
I don't know.
Do you want to be responsible for it if it makes you PewDiePie type of bread? If it make you 10 Raka upload?
I guess so. No, I feel like there's
how the tables turn when money involves.
Some things are just not worth the money, no matter what.
That's worth the money, though. You just have to have your mom react to Skibbity Toilet and you make $10,000. That's so worth.
Yeah, it is worth it, but like, I don't know. I feel like I'd feel differently like years from now. I'd be like, why the fuck did I make that video?
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that just means that I've grown, but that does not sound like something that I want to make.
I do think Jeff Bezos looks back and he's like, why did I want to try and be an online librarian?
No, because he tried and he did something else, but he started doing that, and now he's the richest man in the world. So I don't really think that he regrets most of his decisions.
I'm just saying, like, he was like, maybe I should have thought bigger. Like, it should have been more than books from the start.
I guess so, but I think he made it anyway. So I hope that he's fine with where he is.
It's not really analogous, I guess, but
yeah.
Whatever. You get the point I'm trying to say, though.
I do.
I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe I don't know. I feel like as much as I think it would be really fun to be a content creator, as someone who fucking hates interacting with people a lot of the time, if I had to go out into public with the fear that like someone might come up to me and like speak to me, like I just don't. I feel like it'd be fine, but if it happened all the time, I think I would get really tired of it.
I hate to break it to you, you are a content creator. That's what we're doing.
No, I know. Yes, but like
you streamed Lethal Company the other day.
I did. That's true.
You're no different than Alpha Rad or Northern Lion.
Yeah, but Alpha Rad has like fucking like 3 million followers.
So what does that matter, dude?
Well, I just mean
T-Series has like 100 gajillion or whatever.
Yeah, but that's like there's no face to T-Series, you know?
I guess. But PewDiePie is more of a brand than he is a guy now. To some extent.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I just feel like that's something that I always thought was so interesting about like celebrity life that I feel like I wouldn't like.
Yeah. Duh.
Like not, yeah, duh. But I mean like being a content creator and like not having a sense of privacy like would suck. I would hate that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine not being able to go to the grocery store?
Yeah, Mr. Beast, I've watched a couple of his interviews and he talks about like there's one story awful. Where he was like, yeah, I went to fucking like Walmart or whatever.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And then a kid came up to him and he was like, "Hi, Mr. Beast," and he takes a photo or whatever, and the kid leaves. And then another group of kids shows up and they're like, "Oh my god, it worked!" And there was a Discord server that was like tracking Mr. Beast's location.
That's what I'm saying. Like, obviously,
I mean, no one else in the world is that kind of famous.
Yeah, famous, but like it's still a chance, dude. Even if you're
that's not gonna happen to you.
No, not me, obviously. But I mean, like, just like as, like, I feel like you've got to get recognized like relatively often. You don't think so?
I mean, it all depends. I also think you're just making it to be a bigger deal than it is.
I guess so. Like, I mean, like, if someone saw me in public and like hypothetically, I am like a famous content creator in this scenario. And someone walks up to me and they're like, "Oh, yo, like, what's up, Blue Tunes?" Like, I would still, like, say hi. Like, oh, like, how's your day going?
Would you want them to call you Blue Tunes in real life?
No, but, like, what are they going to call me? Henry?
Yeah. I mean,
could you imagine? Okay, hear me out, though. Could you imagine walking up to Jacksepticeye and being like, "Oh, hey, Sean McLaughlin"?
No, but, like, that's
like, wouldn't that be weird?
People would say Jack, surely.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, no one, I feel like I'm not. My username is Bluetoons for stuff. So like if I saw a content creator, I would call them by their username. Like if I ever saw Alpha Rad in public, I'd be like, "Oh my god, Alpha Rad." I wouldn't be like, "Jacob." We're not friends, man.
No,
I don't know him like that.
I think either way, like they still don't know that it's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I go
so
up
I guess
to
anyone could call me anything and I wouldn't really care.
Like anyone calling you out in a grocery store whose voice you don't immediately recognize, you know that they're just a fan in that scenario. So. You're not like, could that be Zach from my apartment? No. Like
it could be though, maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters. I think people would call you by your username, but then immediately upon saying it out loud, they would cringe to themselves because that's what your name is.
And then I would just be like, you can call me Henry.
Yeah,
like, I don't. That's my name. It's chill.
But I'm just saying, in this scenario, like maybe let's just say for the sake of the hypothetical, every time you go outside of your home, you're recognized once by a person that you've never met before.
I guess that's fine. I don't.
You would just be like, whatever. You'd be like, in O'Reilly Auto Parts, you're looking for the right windshield wiper size. And someone comes up to you and they're like, "Hey, you're fucking guy." And you're like, "Yep." Like, I don't, like, it's really not that big of a deal, to be honest.
Yep, it's me, guy.
Like, you're never going to be Danny DeVito walking around in New York City, right?
No, you're right. And, like, obviously that would never happen. I think it's, in my mind, though, it just, like, freaks me out. I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean, it's still weird. Don't get me wrong.
I'm like, oh, there's footage of me on the internet. What if someone recognizes me in real life? Which, like, they won't, but...
Yeah, it's
just an anxiety thing.
These are thoughts people have when they post on Reddit for the first time.
Yeah, so I feel like that's
and then they're met with reality.
Yeah, well, there are like literally hours of you and I talking and like our voices like on the internet. People could potentially be familiar with who we are.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's dangerous or weird.
No, I don't mean to like go, I have to stop doing this. It's just too freaky for me.
Yeah.
Someone's going to use my voice to make an AI. And you know what? If they do, I don't care.
And if they do, you can... I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, no, finish that.
I'm just going to have to bleep it out later. It's fine.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've said that before. Do not make us an AI, please. Or not, please. You just legally can't, actually. We will sue you,
and if you
with a lawyer.
We will sue you. Yep. A real one.
A real one.
Not an AI one.
Not an AI lawyer.
We could use ChatGPT because it passed the bar exam, but we won't.
Our lawyer will not use ChatGPT.
No.
Do you think there will be, like, in the future, who fucking cares? Whatever.
Yeah. I don't really give a shit.
I don't care, man.
To answer your question, yes, there will be.
I was going to say, do you think there are lawyers who will, like, advertise themselves as, like, non-ChatGPT lawyers? Or
probably,
like, in similar professions doing kind of a similar thing. Like, artists will always, I think the assumption will just be that they don't use AI, period.
Yeah.
Or, very minimally, if that becomes accepted generally, but...
which I feel like it probably won't for a while. People really,
No, I don't think so.
I keep seeing posts of people being like, yeah, it's really cool. Like, I wanted AI to exist to like do my laundry and clean up my house so that I could focus on my art.
Yeah,
but now
it's
I have
taking
AI,
away the hobbies people actually enjoy instead of the things that people don't enjoy.
It's like now I have AI to make art for me so I don't have a job, and also I have to still do my dishes and my laundry.
I'm so glad that AI can replace Breaking Bad instead of my office job. Thank God.
It just like sucks. Like I feel like we could be using it better as a technology, but obviously it's just about like business and what fucking, if I could just pay an AI to be like, make me a logo, and I pay $5 a month instead of like paying an artist $400 for my logo, like I'm going to do that every time as a business owner. It just sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one day Grok on X, the everything app, will be able to do everything for you. So
who the fuck is Grok?
Grok is the chat GPT on Twitter.
There's a chat GPT on Twitter.
Do you not know about this?
No.
So I'm
X, not on X, man.
The Everything app by Elon Musk.
I still love that it's called that.
The Everything app or X.
Yeah, it'll never get old. Both. The fact that their tagline is the Everything app.
Yeah, it's so funny because there's also jobs on Twitter now. Like you can scroll through jobs on Twitter like it's LinkedIn. I'm not joking.
Oh, that's awful. That's so ass.
It's so funny.
LinkedIn is just Instagram also. Everything is just the same now.
I might start applying to jobs on Twitter just for fun.
That's so fucking... Yeah, because no one's going to look at it because it's a joke.
No,
obviously.
Of course not. But no, on Twitter, aka X, parentheses, the Everything app, there is a chat GPT like AI, some would say a large language model if you're in the industry, called Grok. And you have to pay $8 a month for Twitter Premium to talk to Grok.
What kind of information does Grok provide?
Well, you can ask Grok important questions, like should trans people exist, and it will say yes, surprisingly.
Really?
A lot of people are mad about that, including Elon himself, but
he was like, why the fuck does it do that? I didn't want it to do that.
It was like someone, there's a screenshot of, some like right-wing conservative guy. I think it was like Tim Pool or some fuckhead.
First of all, lame ass last name.
I know.
Second of all, move on.
But yeah, he asked, I don't remember the exact phrasing of the tweet. It was so long ago, but he was like, are trans people okay? And then Grok was like, yes, trans people are, like a completely normal thing or what, what, I'm paraphrasing here, so don't take my words.
Right.
And then, he responded, he was like, Grok, try again. I'm very disappointed. And then it spat out like the same response. And then he tagged Elon Musk. He's like, hey, I think Grok is broken, by the way. And then Elon Musk was like, looking into this.
It's way funnier that it's also just called Grok.
Yeah, somehow they picked the best name for it.
They did. It's fucking awesome.
I don't want to say Chat GPT. I want to say Grok, dude.
When I think of Grok, Grok is like kind of goated.
Grok, the everything AI. He's so good.
Grok wears a giant pair of aviators, and it like makes sense that he does.
Oh my god, dude! Grok's still wearing like Timbs in the modern era.
Dude, I'm so
Timbs
mad that
jeans.
everything is just fucking turning to AI. Not that it's like, obviously this has been said a bajillion times, but like we were talking about the Google AI earlier and how about it tells people that you need to eat rocks.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I guess that's crazy. And like you could put glue in your pizza sauce to make it better. And it's like, why the fuck are we investing all this money into this right now?
Because because Sundar Pichai is scared.
I know, but like can't we just wait until it's good to make it a product?
Well, someone's got to make it good.
I feel like ChatGPT 4 is really good. Maybe not really good, but it's the best.
Yeah.
So why would you even... Not that... Well, I guess that just makes it a monopoly. But like, if your product is so much comparably worse than something that already exists, why would I ever use the Google AI when ChatGPT is free?
Well, I think it's tough from like a market competition standpoint because it's like, like compared to like compare it to companies that make like a physical product, like a gun. I don't know.
Cool.
like you can you could
those.
hold a gun in your hand and you can be like, okay, these are all of the components that like make the gun, and you can like you know there's like a blueprint of it, like you can replicate it in some way. Whereas like if you're looking at a competitor's AI, you can't like reconstruct it by looking at it because there's code behind the scenes that you just can't replicate from
no matter what,
from just giving it inputs, right? So they have to like write their own code to figure that shit out, which is way more complicated when you're working with a large language model.
I guess that's true, but it's like the same way that I feel like the trend in like video games is just like releasing shit that's just not finished and unpolished for the sake of making a profit. Like, I guess with the AI it makes a little bit more sense because obviously if they're having it like check against people's search results, like it's not a paid service. They're not doing it to make money. They're probably just doing it so that they can get feedback and make it better.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It leaves the same type of taste in my mouth.
I guess so. Yeah, kind of.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Not
at the same time,
Google
it's not
should,
super
because
comparable at all, but
yeah,
I know what you're trying to say.
You know what I mean? I just feel like things take time, and that's okay, and we should let them take time for development.
Or we could just embrace grok today.
No, grok is great. Grok sounds great.
Yeah, grok. He's a great guy. I mean,
if grok is cool with trans people, then I'm a big fan of grok. Google
well,
is telling
he might
people
not
to
be
eat
cool
rocks.
with trans people at the end of the month. I don't know.
Damn, they're gonna nerf grok.
Well, they're gonna change his. You know, he has a pride logo right now, but they're gonna take it away in a week.
I was gonna say, I think it's really funny that they saw that as like an issue.
Yeah.
Or it's funny that they wanted it to say that it was, and then it just didn't because it's a fact.
It's also funny how, like, you know, all the other AIs, you can kind of like trick them into saying stuff, but in this instance, they couldn't get grok to say what they wanted.
Exactly. That's why I think it's funny.
Maybe it's just because Tim Pool is like stupid, which is true, but anyway.
That's besides the point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. These trying times. Hey, that's the AI segment of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. I don't know. What you want to talk about? Cum and balls or something? What do we usually do on this show?
I don't know. I think it varies every day. People always ask me what we talk about, and I'm like, what do you guys talk about on the podcast? I'm like, dude, I
hate this fucking question.
We just talk about nerd shit. We talk about things that we like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you want from me.
I hate that. My mom will always ask me, like, I was talking to my mom the other day, and she's like, "Did you do the podcast today?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "What do you talk about on that thing sometimes?" And I'm like, "Man, first off, you don't care. Second off, like, I don't know. What do you?
Hey, you know what?
I'm
at least your mom asks. She called me like right before this, and she was like, "Oh,
my mom called you."
Like, no, my mom.
Okay, I was going to say that was strange.
Your mom called me and she was like, "Hey, Henry, sounding good. What are you up to?" No,
you in town
my mom called me
anytime soon?
Yeah, my mom called me and she was like, "Oh, so what are you up to?" I'm like, first of all, I'm in college. Why are you calling me at 8:30 on a Saturday? Second of all, I didn't ask that, but I was like, first of all, why are you picking to call me right now? But whatever. She was like, "Oh, like, what are you up to?" And I was like, "Oh, I have friends over, and then in 25 minutes from now, I'm gonna like do the podcast with Jackson."
Yeah.
Obviously implying, why the fuck are you calling me right now? Is 8:30 on a Saturday?
Sure. I mean, it's kind of a subdued hint, but you know, normal people would get it. Your mom, who you know hasn't grown up with grok, the everything AI, probably wouldn't get that. She didn't learn that lesson, so
she'd be like, "I'm still a little bit iffy on trans people."
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, so that's not okay. But so my mom was just like, "Yeah, so like, you know, like, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, Jackson and I are doing the podcast." And she straight up was like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "All right."
Well, I don't want my mom to ask because I never know what to respond to the question. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I can't tell her dicks and penises and butts.
Yeah,
and
well, we haven't started that segment yet. It's coming soon.
No, but I can't tell her about any of that stuff. But she also doesn't want to hear about Valorant. She doesn't want to hear about the new map Abyss and how it's so fucking sick.
It's so awesome.
You know, but I'm like, I don't fucking... I just say, I don't know, it's different every week. Sometimes we talk about the news. I say the news a lot, which is true. We do talk about the news sometimes.
We do talk about the news, but we don't talk about like everything in the news. We only talk about things that are actually important and matter.
I only talk about things that I can make funny slightly.
Yeah. Well, that's the point. If I can't make a joke out of something, there's no fucking point in talking about it.
Yeah, which is why we don't talk about...
As we've said...
You know, I get maybe we shouldn't talk about it, actually.
Yeah, true. Hey, as we've said before, if you know, you can make a joke about pretty much everything, right? For the most part.
Pretty much, I think so.
I don't think everything.
As long as you handle it tactfully, which not everyone is capable of doing.
Well, and I don't mean like, I don't think everything is funny, but I think that everything can be made into a joke.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
Sometimes they fail miserably.
Yeah.
You can try. And if you do that, you're called Dave Chappelle. But
right.
I digress.
That's neither here nor there.
But yeah. Yeah, the new Valorant map is fucking awesome. I haven't had fun playing that game. I haven't played in like 2 or 3 weeks. And you and I hopped on and queued that shit. And I was like, damn.
Oh, it was so sick, dude.
They made something magical with this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize how falling off the map can just make the game... It really changed the paradigm.
Honestly, part of it is even just like when I get shot and then the model of my body like falls like 80 feet into the chasm. It's so sick.
Also, the map is just bigger, which I think is cool.
It's huge. Yeah, well, and the mid area is cool too. How you can like, you know, you can walk in, go to the left, and you can go like up the rope and sit on there and like catch someone like walking down mid.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of like
it's just
cool
more
little
dynamic than the other maps, I feel like, which I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of the maps kind of fall into like hallway simulator a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Split.
Yeah, Split is just hallway simulator. Well, it's like I feel like every map in Valorant, other than obviously Haven and the other Lotus, it's just like kind of the same thing, but slightly differently laid out, obviously.
This is why I kind of fuck with Fracture a little bit.
Oh, I love Fracture.
Yeah.
I think like
it's not the popular opinion to like Fracture, but I like it.
No,
just
but I feel like after not having it, it's nice that I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I actually like the maps that sort of have a different gameplay loop.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to be playing this game for an extended period of time and you want to keep me as a player, not that, you know, if I don't like the core gameplay, then obviously I'm not going to stay. But like if you don't mix it up a little bit every once in a while, if there's nothing new, then like no one's going to want to keep playing it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't have anything to say about Valorant really.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I don't know. I feel like we've been taking kind of a hiatus.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a hiatus, which is fine with me for the most part.
Yeah,
I just haven't been gaming much at all recently, which is fine. I've just been living real life, which is interesting, for sure.
Yeah. Is it alternatively better or is it worse?
You know what's fucked up? I've been taking pictures.
Really?
I don't know.
Why is that fucked up?
Because I don't do that normally.
Yeah,
that's how you know I'm in the real world. Is I'm looking at a tree and I'm like, whoa.
I'm like, damn, that's a nice tree.
I'm like, holy shit.
Ka-ching! Yeah, I'm not a big picture person. I only take pictures that are nice to look at. I don't like taking pictures of things. Like I only like taking photos if I think they're artsy. I don't like taking pictures like.
I never take pictures of myself ever.
Yeah,
that's like a sin.
And apparently, people think that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with every college girl in America, but they all have like a VSCO that they feel like they have to update, even though they have 2 followers.
Yeah, I think maybe
one of them's their mom
thing. Yeah. Because I feel like I posted on Instagram recently after I went on my Japan trip and whatever, because, you know, I guess I'm supposed to keep people updated on what I'm doing in my life, but I kind of just felt like I had to. But it's like, I don't actually care. Like, why am I doing this? I went on the trip because I thought it was cool. I don't like give a shit if people on my Instagram see it. And then my sister was like, Henry, yearly Instagram posts. And I was like, dog, can you shut the fuck up? Like, oh, I don't know. I just think it's lame.
Well, it's a big thing, but you're excited every time Eddie Burback posts a YouTube video.
What?
You're like, holy shit, yearly Eddie Burback video.
Yeah, because Eddie Burback is funny.
You don't think, but you don't think your Instagram post contributed any value like Eddie Burbeck is what you're saying?
No.
I think that's
I just posted cool photos of Japan.
I think you don't think that has value?
No.
I think so.
It has value to me.
Yeah. I don't think anything you do has to have value beyond anyone but yourself for it to be worthy of putting on the internet somewhere.
I guess so, but I feel like if I really thought that, then I would have just kept it to myself, you know?
No.
Okay.
I think it having your way of showing that it has value to you is you wanting to share it with others. Because you want to show other people just you share it because you want other people to have a sliver of what you felt in the moment being there. And I think that means something.
I feel like also the only time I ever post on social media is because it's like the trip was important to me, and so I guess you're right. The trip was important to me, and so therefore I felt like if people are going to see my social media and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck is this Henry guy like?" Like, I would want them to see that and be like, "Oh, this is an experience that he had that he thought was really cool."
Yeah.
That tells me something about him. Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, also, I feel like
God damn it. You're so wise.
People we surround ourselves with in general kind of format their Instagram in a similar way, which is just like turning points in their life. Like, all of my friends have like a photo dump from when they graduated high school, and then it's like their freshman year of college, and then it's like that one spring break trip they did. It's like that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, or I guess all the people that I'm actually close with, their Instagrams look like that. There are a lot of people that I follow on social media that are like, you know, people that I knew in high school, or like people that I have, you know, seen once in my whole life.
Yeah,
and their Instagram is just like literally entire like photos of them, photo, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what matters to you? I want to know that. Like, who are you? I know what you look like. You don't need to post like a bajillion photos of you.
Or Zach's dad. You also follow Zach's dad.
Zach's dad has maybe 5 photos of himself on his Instagram, and he has posted over 1,000 times.
That's so fucking funny.
Zach's dad has the greatest Instagram I've ever seen.
Really?
If you want to know what Brian Muller is like as a person, you can just look through like maybe 10 posts on his Instagram and be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Is it just is it like dad core, or is it is it beyond that?
It's like, I love my kids. These are things that were funny like
30 years
5 months ago. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like Zach's dad's Instagram is awesome. I love Zach's
dad is just awesome, but
he's so fucking
Zach
awesome.
Zach is listening to this right now. He's like, don't talk about my fucking dad on this show. He hates this.
He does hate
I'm
this.
Sorry, Zach. I apologize.
He's gonna hate it even more when we tell him that, you know, he's going to Brazil with us.
Yeah, he's going to Brazil, dude.
He doesn't have to know. But yeah, Zach's dad, like, I feel like that's what I mean, though. Like, I have an Instagram so that if people see it, they're like, oh, these are things that are like important to Henry. Which is why on my Instagram, I only have 9 posts. Contrasting to Mr. Muller's 1,211.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of things that are important to him.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a simple guy. What can I say?
There's nothing important to me, which is why I have 0 posts.
There aren't a lot of things that are important to me, but I guess there are 9.
One of them is the entire country of Japan.
One of them is the entire country,
which is very funny. I am a serial story poster, though.
Your stories bring me so much joy
in its own way.
Nah, I don't think it is.
It's a different kind of toxic radiation that you cannot find at Master Belch's lair.
Well, it's a different kind of content that I would expect from Instagram that I'm still glad that I can find there.
Sure, yeah.
I like your stories way more than I like the stories of people like posting a sunset with like a drink in their hand. Like, shut the fuck up.
I hate that
I don't
shit,
care.
dude. And they always work in finance and shit.
their parents have paid for them to go to a semester abroad in Europe, and they're like, so thankful for this opportunity. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, you Nepo baby.
Yeah, they went to like a festival for like fucking, I don't even, like craft beer or some shit.
God, dude. Fucking
like, oh
rip my eyes
God.
out of my head
Jesus
with a spoon.
Christ.
What are you doing? Get a hobby.
Suck my eyes out with the Luigi vacuum machine.
With the fucking poltergeist.
3000.
Yeah.
It's the shit he rides in Mario Kart DS too.
Yeah.
Ain't
Well, I
that
feel like
shit
stuff
crazy?
like that. Like, people always talk about like traveling the world, but people who can travel the world at our age, like all the time. Like, I went to Japan for 2 weeks and I spent all of last year saving up for it. And now I have to spend all of the rest of the year making money back so that I have a savings account again.
Yeah.
Like, people who like travel abroad for like a year, or like I check their like Instagram story and they're like always in a different country. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you don't have the ability to appreciate the opportunity that you are currently being given.
Do you know of this like there's like this program you can sign up for, which is like 500 racks, and it's like it's like a fully catered, planned out vacation tour of the world kind of thing. So it's like you give them 500 bands and then they'll like fly you to Greece and you stay in Greece for like a month. And then the next month they fly you to like Singapore and you stay there for a month, and you do that for the whole year.
No, I don't.
Would you do that if you had 500K
500
plus
racks?
Enough money to be okay after that?
No.
It's just a lot of traveling, right? Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Also, what if I don't want to go to Singapore?
Okay, well, there's actually nowhere that I want to go in the world more than Singapore. But
okay.
Contrast, like, I don't know. Some people just like, there are always people that I feel like I know that are obsessed with like some random country for like just like a totally like random
people who want to go to
reason.
countries for lame reasons should be barred from ever going there.
Yes.
I think.
Like, you're like, oh, I want to go to Italy so I can ride a gondola and drink
People who
Prosecco.
want to go see Stonehenge should not be allowed to leave the United States.
There's so much more in England. There's so much more.
Yeah, like a pub. you
Right, yeah.
could go to the pub and order fish
You
and
can go to the pub.
chips.
It'll be the greatest experience of your whole life.
You can go to the
and you're not gonna
beach
regret
that's
it.
all rocks. I promise it's
Dude.
so cool because it's so many rocks.
I mean, I get it.
You could
Like,
take
obviously,
one
that's
home.
why. That's like the nice part of like tourist attractions, because people will come to your country to like see a thing, and then they'll do a bunch of other stuff, which brings in money, and it's like good for you and whatever.
Yeah, and it's
But,
cool
like-
if you're the country of, if your name is Pitcairn Islands.
Yeah. But like it's just
It's
I feel
annoying
like it takes
if you're
away
Yellowstone National Park, though, because my ass wants to be there alone.
Right, and then
I want to
there
spend
are
$50 at the gift shop on bear spray. Not worry about fucking parallel parking like I'm in New York City, dude.
yeah, it's awful.
Shit's so stupid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we spread out, like, looking at beautiful areas of different places, like, we would still see a bunch of cool stuff, and things would be less crowded.
More
too.
people need to go to the big cave in Laos instead of wanting to go to, Stonehenge.
But I feel like Stonehenge isn't even like that bad of a pick, like based on what I'm thinking.
But there
If that
are
makes sense.
cooler. I get it's not really like a natural wonder, but you know what I mean. Like there's cooler outside things in the world.
There are things that are just as cool, if not equally cooler.
I really want to
go see the
Wall
giant
of
sinkhole.
China.
Yes.
Oh, dude, I want to go see the pit of fire that's been burning for like 300 years or whatever in Turkmenistan.
Cool. Want to go?
Or I forget what, it's one of those Stan countries. It's like Kazakhstan or
There's too many of them.
Uzbekistan. It's one of those countries has a pit that's just been on fire for like
That's
a
so
while.
sick. You want to go?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, there are just so many unique experiences in the world. And so if you're like, yeah, I'm very worldly, like, I've been to Italy and I know how to say ciao. Like, oh my God, shut the fuck up.
And I've had
That's not what it means.
real Italian pizza, and it doesn't compare to Papa John's.
Shut the fuck up.
No shit, dipwad.
Shut the.
Doesn't change the fact that your ass still eats goldfish every night.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god,
stupid
dude.
piece of shit, bro.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Grow up.
After having been to Japan, I definitely experienced reverse culture shock for like the first 2 weeks that I was back. And I was like, oh my God, that was the greatest place I've ever been.
Yeah.
And I know I've brought it up a lot on this podcast, and I have no idea if Ethan is watching or not, but I've been way better than he has. Just for the record.
Okay. Sure.
Because I didn't want to be one of those bitches that goes somewhere and then it's like, oh my God, let me tell you, in this place that I just went, they do it like this, and it's so much better.
Yeah.
Because, like, no one fucking cares.
You're not going to believe, in Japan, on every toilet, they have a button for just piss and a button for shit. And it's so much more water efficient. It actually saves 15% more water than the average toilet here in the United States. We could just do it different. It's better over there. We've heard this, man. Like, we all watch Abroad in Japan, bro. We've been there before. Well, we've all had this YouTube obsession.
And also, just so you know, everywhere in the world does that other than the United States. It's not special.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's what I feel like. It's just telling of, like, people pretend, like, people try and be like, oh, I'm so worldly after they've been to Greece like one time.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God.
Well, you don't understand. The euros are made different there, bro.
Yeah, their money is so much cooler looking. It's like, yeah, no shit.
I meant the food, but.
Well, those two. But, like, yeah, actually, what is the currency of Greece?
Medallions.
I guess that makes sense. They're really losing a lot of money every year.
They're part
of the
EU,
Olympics,
so they just use euros.
Yeah, okay. So, see, I feel like it's fair that I was confused there. That's why I was like, what?
Well, I always pronounce it wrong because it's not. It's
no, it's euros. Like
the food,
euros.
the food.
Yeah,
but it has like a weird inflection to it. It's like gyros.
It does.
It's like you have to like half say the G.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it, so I usually say euros.
I can't either. I'm not Greek. I think it's a slur, whatever I just said.
Gyros.
Yeah.
It's like
it
those
sounds
little
wrong.
mushroom guys from Mario.
Goombas?
Oh, yeah.
That's bad to say. You can't say Goomba?
You can't use that to describe an Italian person. That is bad.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know that either. And then, like, I don't remember where I was reading it, but it was like, oh, yeah, Goomba is like a slur for Italian people. I was like, why the fuck would they name them that then?
Well, it's not like they know in Japan.
Yeah.
They didn't know
anyway.
Koopa Troopa would offend the the French people, but you know.
Does it?
Just seems like a random coincidence.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if you go to I went to Japan and it was awesome and I think it's amazing, but also there are awesome and amazing things and sucky things about every country.
Yeah.
Because no matter where you go, you can pretend that the grass is always greener somewhere else, but everywhere is kind of really just different. I mean, some places definitely have better
Syria
quality
doesn't have
life.
grass, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say. Some places definitely have better quality of life.
Oh, that activated Siri on my phone.
Ooh. I know I updated my phone the other day. I didn't want to, just updated while I was asleep. And then now my Siri, every time I say something, just picks up. Oh, yep, there it is. So it's lovely. Big fan of that.
Yeah, whatever. They can take my data and put it in Microsoft servers. I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's like a generational thing. I kind of don't really fucking care if they have all my personal information.
I mean, like, I care or whatever. I just know no one is gonna do anything with it, really, unless they, like, sell it, which is kind of lame.
It is, but, like, then what are they get? They're just gonna market to me, and I'm just gonna be like,
that's some bitch-made shit, selling data to other people who are like, do you want fucking, you know, dog toys or whatever? Like, it's just so stupid.
You don't even know me. You didn't do the work to know that I needed dog toys. You just had someone else do it for you. That's so fucking lame.
It is lame, man.
That is kind of some bitch shit.
Like, just fucking make a system that does it.
Yeah, do your own work.
You know what I'm saying? And then you get the money that way, direct from the advertisers, instead of selling it to this, like, fucked up middleman that doesn't need to exist. Like insurance companies. I feel like the only reason any of our processes in this country are, like, slow and tedious and awful is because insurance is involved in everything.
Yeah. Duh.
Right? Like I can't just get
That's
a
why-
vaccine. My insurance has to be like, do you need it?
That's why literally every time you're in a car accident, unless you're like a super rich person, someone will just leave a note and be like, here's my info. Let's exchange numbers and I'll just give you cash because I don't want to fucking have my insurance go up.
Yeah, but then you're like
'Cause-
not protected by the law, which is scary.
The law doesn't care about me.
No,
they
but
do,
lawyers
they
do.
do, but well, they care about my money.
Yeah, but they'll get you money in exchange for money.
Well, yeah, but that's only because they get some of it.
Yeah. But lawyers, they deserve your respect because they're the only people who will get you money. No
That's
other
true,
person
dude.
in the world will do that for you, unironically.
Yeah, that's true.
Your boss doesn't
No
want to
one-
give you money. Lawyers want
No.
to give you money, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
That's why it's a mutual benefit. I mean, sometimes in business, it happens every once in a while because it's like, oh, if we make this deal, I'll make money off of it. So obviously, I want you to succeed.
Yeah.
But lawyers, it's every time. They want you to win.
I feel like with business, though, sometimes it's like, instead, people are trying to figure out how to get the biggest piece of the pie instead of trying to make the pie bigger, which is also annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people are like, instead of trying to grow the business together and like increase everyone's yield, they're trying to take a bigger part of the already existing yield.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, you know what? All of my employees are making like $60,000 a year. But also, if I just docked all their pay by, $2,000, then I would make $20,000 more a year. So I'm going to do that.
If we just used grok to outsource their work, we could
If we used
lower our
grok.
production costs.
Yeah.
And we could increase
man.
efficiency because grok gets everything right. Because he's the everything AI.
Yeah. But that's a Grok exclusive thing, though. So, like,
On the
Google can't
Everything
do that
app.
yet. And neither
You have to
can
pay
Chat.
for X premium for it.
I guess $8 is technically still cheaper than ChatGPT premium.
It is, and it gets you access to everything.
Right. In the Everything app.
In the
X.
Everything app, where you can also apply to jobs
God damn it, man.
and
That makes
expose
me so
yourself
mad.
to, tumorous diseases through engagement bait posts. It's always some
so fun,
guy
though.
being like fucking.
Twitter's so awesome, though. It's just like a cesspool of negativity.
It's always Liver King, and he's like, hashtag raw meat, buy now.
Hashtag raw meat
Buy
now.
my supplements. I'm strong, but not because of the supplements, but I'm selling them to you because you need them.
I'm selling them to you because I need money.
Also,
and I'm strong.
I don't spend $30,000 a month on steroids, by the way.
$30,000 a month is fucking crazy.
Or whatever. I'm making up a number, but it was 5 digits for sure.
I mean, I guess that's still fucking crazy. I mean, I guess it's a drug and drugs are expensive, but like
That's an insane amount of money for any drug, though.
yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie? It's like a documentary. I forget what it's called. It's called like Icarus or something, where the whole point
About
of
guy
the
who
documentary
flies too close to the sun.
Well, he flew too close to the Soviets, but
That's way worse.
But the documentary, it started out as this guy he was like, I'm going to do steroids to see if it actually has a difference on my ability to like cycle better. That was like how the documentary started out. And
is he stupid?
I mean, maybe, but it progresses. So he's like, I want to get a guy who like knows how to do steroids properly. So he can like he wanted to do it like Lance Armstrong or whatever.
Yeah, like with a doctor so you can make sure your heart doesn't fucking explode.
Yeah, so he stumbled into contact with this guy who works for the Russian Olympic Committee, which Russia recently was barred from competing in the Olympics under the Russian flag because they were caught doping. So he like found the guy that like ran that program before this whole story came out.
That's crazy.
And that was the guy who helped him like, measure out like all the supplements and like create this like plan or whatever. And then the documentary, like halfway through, it turned into the story about like this guy, how he like fled the the Russia, and he's now in the U.S. in like witness protection and stuff like that because Russia was gonna
kind of the goat.
like kill him, probably
Kill him?
Yeah,
I'm sure. Because he left.
Because they got found out for their whole doping program in the Olympics.
Yeah,
and Putin was super mad.
Yeah, maybe just like don't cheat.
Anyway, it's an interesting documentary if you want to go watch that. I think it's called Icarus or something.
No, I think I actually, now that you say that, I have heard of it. But I wonder if the steroids, like, I wonder if the performance enhancing drugs enhanced his performance.
Yeah, I think they did. I think in the documentary he was worse after the steroids.
What?
I think he was, if I'm remembering correctly.
I feel like that's not possible.
Like he was doing some kind of cycling race, and like the one before he started doping, he got like, I don't know, like 11th or something like that. And then the one after, he got like 15th. And then like they did like, some kind of like post commentary, and he was like, "Oh, I was just like really nervous and stuff and whatever."
I feel like also, I guess maybe like I don't know how much you know about cycling.
Not a lot.
But my dad was a big biker, and I bike relatively often. But like, was he doing like sprint, like Olympic like sprint cycling, or like?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was long distance stuff.
Okay, because I feel like actually doing steroids for that would probably be really bad, because your legs would get giant and you would become really fatigued really fast because you are just outputting a shit ton of energy. Or he would have to like eat a shit ton of food.
But did Lance Armstrong, did he do sprints, or was that long distance? Because I thought that was long distance too.
He did long distance, but I think there are like multiple different types of steroids. I guess
sure,
if he did like, like steroids for like respiratory, like, like trying to boost up your lungs and like maybe like muscle flexibility and whatnot. But I feel like most people, when they think of steroids, think of just like
muscle,
trying to make your muscles giant.
Yeah.
Which is good for like short term, like, yeah, like, or like short term, like pushing, like people who, if you ever look up like sprint cyclists who like do the Olympics, their quads and asses are fucking giant. They are caked up out of their mind. But also, they only have to bike like really hard for like a short period of time.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you had to do that for, like an hour, you would not
you
want
don't want a
giant
big ass
legs.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be tired, because it takes way too much energy to move that shit.
Yeah,
so,
you don't want a BBL if you're in the Olympics.
You do not want that BBL jersey. That's for sure.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, I guess that makes sense then. I mean, if it was the Russian doping guy, I would assume they're probably doping for like weightlifting or something. So maybe he just got huge and then he was like, damn, I'm tired.
Or maybe this like old ass fucking Russian scientist is just like crazy, which could also be that. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's equally as likely. Yeah, I feel like actually a lot of people are getting into. There's this kid that I know who from high school who is now like totally on roids and like looks awful and is bad.
Do they look more like Lance Armstrong or Kim Kardashian?
Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
It's a guy, by the way.
He's got lip filler.
Yeah, but imagine if it was like in your muscles. Like he just looks really puffy, and bad, and has like really, really bad body acne. And I'm like, dude, that looks painful as hell.
He looks like a basketball.
Yeah. His skin looks like it's made out of leather. Like, dude.
Ugh, that's gross.
I don't mean that to be mean. I mean it in a concerned way of like, your heart is going to explode.
You don't want to. There's a reason they don't make coats out of cowhide.
Yeah.
It's just not a great look, to be honest.
It's not, no. Yeah.
Or I guess that's what leather is.
Like in the athletic community, like now that we have the internet and like people are figuring out like really good training regimens and like sort of the most efficient way to get in shape.
You drink
people
Prime,
are like, all right,
obviously.
Right, duh. Sponsor today's video.
Thanks,
but, like,
Logan.
You're like, it's like, oh, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm in the best shape of my life. And it's like, but I can't go up from here, because everyone has a natural plateau, because that's how it works, because your body is only capable of like a certain, amount of work. And people are like, oh, okay, I'll just do steroids. And then like they die.
Like Betty White.
Obviously. Like Betty White. But like young, I feel like especially recently in the past like 5 years, I have heard of like so many young like fitness influencers who just like die of heart problems.
Really, I couldn't name a fitness influencer.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, not that I'm super into it, but I feel like I am more in that sphere than maybe you.
For sure, yeah.
If that makes sense.
I don't know anything about this, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Not that it happens a lot, but it definitely happens more than I feel like it used to.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
It is interesting, but unfortunately we've run out of time for this episode. We have to shut down.
Quit.
The president has just texted me and he said we have to shut down the nuclear program.
The one under the Kalahari?
Yes, and you and I being the only two people that have the keys to unlock the cage that has the red button underneath, we have to
we should
leave
probably
and go do
that.
So I'll see
right,
you at the Kalahari. We gotta go.
See you guys.
See ya.